Hey, this is JD Frost. Welcome to the Daily Ledger podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Day one came from a time when I missed a streak that was very important to me. I was doing a devotional, and I had done this devotional every single day for 184 days. 184 days straight, and my goal was to do a devotional every single day because I wanted to study the word every single day for a year. I was trying to get to 365. And this particular day that I'm remembering, like, even brings me pain to even just remember it, was a very busy day. I didn't start my day like I normally do. I was rushing. I was behind, and I just didn't have my normal routine. And I got through the day, and throughout the whole day I was thinking about doing that devotional. And mind you, in order to get credit for the streak, all you got to do is open the app. All I had to do was open the app to get into the devotional. I didn't even have to finish the devotional. I just had to open the app. Just had to tap on the app. And throughout the day, I still didn't open it. I got busy. I got to the end of the day. I ended up getting back home, and at the time, I was trying to practice putting my phone down when I got into the house. I put my phone down, and I didn't come back to it. But the whole day, throughout the evening, even when I put my phone down, I was like, I need to do that devotional. I hadn't done it yet. So I went back, got my phone. I was watching TV, doing the normal things, eating dinner with a family. Girls were going to bed. I sat there, continued watching TV, and I put my phone back down and had it charging in my room. And I went back to watch TV, and I laid back, and I fell asleep. I woke up at 1:30 in the morning, and I was in a little bit of a panic because immediately when I woke up, it came straight to my head. Immediately when I woke up, I never did it. I never opened the app. I never did the devotional. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I felt like at the time that I relapsed. I know it might be a little bit dramatic, but that's what it felt like to me. I felt like that I had gone back on my word, that I had failed myself tremendously. Like, I literally could not get it out of my head that I'd missed this streak. I had to go all the way back to one. I felt like I had let myself down. I felt like I had let my family down. I felt like I had let my accountability partners down. Felt like I let God down because I didn't even have enough time to spend 5 minutes with him. I couldn't even just go to the app and just open it up. I had to do everything else during that day rather than that. I couldn't get it out of my head. I mean, I literally could not do anything. I started my next day, and I got on the phone with a buddy of mine. His name's Rocky Garza, and I told him, I was like, dude, you got to give me something to think about, because Rocky is unbelievable at helping me to overcome challenges in relationships, challenges in my relationship with myself, my own identity, understanding more about me so that I know how I operate, so that I can overcome that little voice that you have inside your head. You know that voice that I'm talking about, that voice that's inside your head that will not let you off the hook. If your voice is anything like my voice, I have very, very, very little grace for myself, especially in something like this at that time in my life. Zero grace for myself, because I wouldn't let myself off the hook. I had failed. I couldn't believe I didn't do it. I was like, Rocky, you got to help me figure this out. Give me something to think about. I need something else. Rocky, most people might not know this, but Rocky is used to be a pastor of a church. And he was telling me this story about these friends. He started telling me this story about these friends that helped their friend who was paralyzed. There was all these people at this house, and Jesus was in there, and they wanted their friend to be healed. And there was no other way to heal him except to go up on the roof. They dragged their friend up on the roof. He's on this, I guess this board or something because he's paralyzed. They had to drag him up there. And they tore a hole in the ceiling. His friends, they were going to get this friend to Jesus no matter what, so that he could be healed. And they lowered him down in there. And he was telling me this story, and I'm like, what is Rocky talking about? Why is he, this is not helping me. This isn't helping me, Rocky. But I continued to listen, and he said, and they lowered their friends down, and they put them before Jesus, and obviously we're paraphrasing this story quite a bit, and he was at the time. He said, Jesus said, "You're healed. Get up and walk away." And Rocky, when he said that, he said, "Get up and walk away," he added himself to the story that Jesus whispered to the guy who was paralyzed when he said, "Get up and walk away." As he walked by him, he whispered to him, "Today is day one." And this guy who was paralyzed, he wasn't able to move. His friends had to lower him down into the house from the ceiling. I'm literally looking up at the ceiling, he just lowers him down to do anything they could to be able to help him. And how many days had he been paralyzed? Who knows? Maybe it was his whole life. He had never actually walked. He didn't think it was possible. And when Jesus says you're healed, he's able to get up, he's able to walk away. And all the people that were in the house, because this house was packed with people, they just spread apart, and he started walking out. And Jesus told him, "Today's your day one." That's the way Rocky described the story to me. He said, "JD, it's day one for you. It's day one. You can't change the past. You can't change the past. You can't change the fact that you forgot to do it. And who cares about your streak anyways? It doesn't matter. Today is what matters. Right now. Day one. Day one." Ever since that day, I've been able to overcome fear, anxiety, isolation, because I live by the fact that today is day one. Today is the first day of a workout. When you start a workout and you're all excited and you're like, "Oh, I'm definitely going to hit it tomorrow," or it's the first day of work. You hit it with a lot of excitement. Your first day of your business, you're ready to go. You're excited. You're going to do everything you can today. You're going to put everything you can into it. You're going to do whatever it takes, like those friends lowering their friend down into the ceiling. They climbed up on the roof, for goodness sakes, because there's too many people in there. They were going to do anything they could. That was their day one. They're living it out too. And that guy that got healed by Jesus, he was able to start walking that day, and that was his day one. That story enabled me to think differently. It changed the way I thought. It changes the way I think every single day, and it will change the way you think about each day when you start to live every day as day one. When you start to remind yourself, do the actions, have accountability with your accountability partners, that every day is day one. Day one gives you the ability to forget about the past, to not think about the future, and to only think about today and what you can do right now in order to change your life. Because if you change your daily routine, then you will change your life. Today is day one, and that story I will never forget, and I will always share with anybody who's going through a difficult time, somebody who feels like they relapse, somebody who feels like that their relationship with their wife or their husband is never going to be the same. That is never going to change until they understand and start to embrace this concept of day one. It will help you to overcome anything that you have going on in your life, because it starts with the way you're thinking. What you think is what you say is what you do creates your legacy. It starts with your thoughts, and it starts with day one. I really appreciate you listening to the Daily Ledger podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day.